Let's have a session, shall we? Hmm? You know, I fell in love with my ex. I was young, girl. And I fell in love because before him, I was involved in something toxic. And he came to my aid in multiple ways. I felt at the time he stopped my heart from turning to stone. I felt like he saved my heart. I felt like he protected me physically because this person was abusive. And he did. He protected me. He was my protector. He was my friend. You know, and there was some old school qualities about him that I really loved too. Those old school qualities I'm referring to goes back to my upbringing, you know? And it was good for at the time. It was good. It was good. So I know that people change. They absolutely do. I just never knew he would change into a person that I least like. It always bothered me, looking from one perspective, to see couples that had children that didn't get along at all, because I just imagine, how could that love turn to hate? That must be a real fucked up place to be in, you know? But now I'm going through this in real life, in real time, and I don't hate him, but my experience recently with him has me in a space of not liking him. And it's weird for me, you know? It's weird. So, back in February, just last month, I had did a dedication to my future husband, who I have no idea who this man is, right? But I did a dedication to him. And so I think I want to try to redo that dedication again. Let's see how that turns out. Because, you know, there's women, right? There's women who one of their life's goals was to get married. I mean, some women you speak to and they be like, oh, that was always my dream since I was a little girl. And I think I'm taken aback a little bit, because as a little girl, that was never my dream. And as I grew, I began to see marriages that were facades. I can honestly say that I have not ever witnessed in my lifetime a successful black marriage. And I'm talking about my definition of successful. I have not bore witness with my own eyes or through my own experience, with close friends and family. Um, and so my experience, it has always had me feel like, you know what? I don't need to get married. I don't want to get married because it is so much easier not to. And it's easier not to because there comes a time in a marriage that I believe is could be one of the most complicated times when either one person is going through a growth spurt by themselves, or the marriage in itself is going through a growth spurt. And I don't know, I guess communication changes. I don't know. I'm not married. I haven't been married, but I just feel like, or at the time, at least at the time, I felt like if we're gonna only end up separated, why don't we just have something long term? We can have a long term relationship, and therefore there won't be complications uh, if we should sever ties, you know? And then I came to terms with, well, you know what? And this is in my 20s now. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll get married. Maybe I'll get married. And if I get married, I won't get married till I'm 55. 55. And I have stuck with that. I have stuck with that up until I think that's still because baby, when I speak to my friends and they're like 55, 55, that's old. And I'm just like, yeah, it's old enough to know better, you know what I'm saying, but young enough to still be like, listen, we in the age bracket where you need to just sit your ass the fuck down. Where are we going? What are we doing at 55 besides enjoying the beginning stages of our seniorhood, hopefully the beginning stages of our retirement, or at least my retirement, and working on building a better life together in our seniorhood and who we will be evolving into coming of age. Like, I feel like, at that age, at 55, like, I just hope that my husband to be would have some type of idea of how to be a husband, you know? Because I don't know the statistics of successful marriages, but I do know that women of all cultures and races are trained and taught how to be wives from a young age, whether it was done culturally, intentionally, or not. We learn how to cater to men from a young age. And I think that plays a major part in our adulthood, why we have made a lot of their behaviors acceptable, why we have settled so much in trying to conform our lives around them, because of our upbringing. But let me just tell you an experience I had. When my oldest was in elementary school, I believe he was in maybe the second or third. No, I'm gonna say maybe fourth grade. Fourth grade, and I went. I always been an active parent. And so, I went to parent teacher night, and the his one of his teachers was an older lady. I am so sorry that I can't remember this lady name, but um she said something to me that I don't people say things to you that kind of always stay with you for some reason, and at this time she said to me, she said, can I speak to you for a minute outside of the classroom? And I said, sure. So, my oldest was sitting there. He was reading a book with some other kids or whatever. And she said to me, listen, I want to say something to you, but it's kind of personal and I don't want you to get offended. And I was like, that look we give, like, be like what? And she said to me, you know, I really like you as a woman, and not in any type of sexual way, but I look at you. When I look at you, you're here every day to drop him off, you're here every day to pick him up. um you're a working woman, you're getting it done without a man. And I admire that, because when I was coming up, it was taboo not to have a man. And so a lot of women in my neighborhood and in my era, we settled for any little piece of man we could get. So it didn't matter if he was running around sleeping with a group of friends, or if he was sleeping, in the neighborhood, or if he was, a known playboy. We just wanted to be seen with him and in his presence, because we placed a lot of our value on the relationship we had with men, especially if we had children by them. And we were able to have a certain type of status, so we had a family and we had an apartment. And if he was living with you, it really made you appear to be a certain way. And I just admire the fact that you're doing it on your own. I don't know if his father's around or not. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just admire your strength and your courage, because you come, you make every parent teacher meeting. You speak up. I have seen you speak to other parents. I have seen you defend your child, and I just really admire that about you. And I was taken aback, because I'm in my 20s, and I was taken aback, and I just said, well, thank you very much. No one's told me that before, and I definitely, appreciate you letting me know that. And so I'm saying all that to say is that it's been decades and decades and decades that we have been trained or taught our daughters a certain type of way. Now, if it don't apply, let it fly. And I'm saying that because um I wasn't taught that way. I wasn't even trained that way. I wasn't. But I see a lot in our community that may have something to do with why my tolerance for things concerning men is low. This could possibly be why, um a portion of why my relationship has come to an end, because um the woman that I have become. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I haven't put up with a cheating man. I mean, I right now, I'm 46 years of age, so I've had some experience, you know, and but I have decided a long time ago that I would not place my value or my worth according to whomever I was with, or according to anyone else's standards. I also decided a long time ago that I know what hurts. I know what fucking hurts. And that I would not settle or compromise that hurt anymore. You know, like most young people, I've been cheated on, and it hurt, and I cheated back because I wanted him to feel what I felt. I wanted him to reciprocate that fucking pain. And in the end, I found out that that was the wrong thing to do. I was way out of my lane, trying to take karma into my own hands. Um, I did not feel good about it. Uh, it was like I can honestly say that's one of the worst mistakes I made in my life. Um, because it wasn't even about him at that point, even though I realized it too late. It was about me, how I felt, just, giving myself away to who I thought, was like the next best thing at the time. And this is in my teenage years. Because I knew that they liked me, and even though I didn't feel anything for them, his status was a direct threat to who I was with at the time that cheated on me. Um and so I found out it wasn't about him. It was about me and how I felt. Oh, damn, it's even taking accountability now. I remember how I felt then, and it's just was not a good feeling. And I'm saying that to be my point is that different people have different values and different principles and moral codes that they stand on, right? And I can say this. Right now I am single by choice because I am definitely continuing to work on myself because baby, I am really I've really had my fill at this point of running into and having any type of relation or situationship with broken people. And I mean from relationships to friendships. Okay? I've fucking had my fill. And I know that opposites attract, but just right now, I need to heal parts of myself so I could stop these trauma bonds. I realize that I am a very soulful person. Um, I'm not a half-ass person. I just, it's just not in me to do anything half-ass. We either all in or we not. And I'm talking about friendships and relationships. And so I want to heal the parts of myself that keep attracting these broken fucking people to where as though we're creating these trauma bonds and that we can't even really celebrate anything, or when it's time for a celebration then it's an awkward feeling because it's a, a space we haven't never visited. You know what I'm saying? It's I mean, we haven't really been in a celebratory space that much. So, I'm tired of attracting those type of fucking people. Okay, so I'm doing the work. Yes, I'm single by choice. And I want to say that I'm dating. I'm dating. And in dating, there is no obligations in dating, and it works for me. It works for me. I see all these fucking memes talking about, if you're not dating to get married, what's the point? No, you're fucking dating because you are trying to see if there's someone out there that you have enough interest in to continue to date them with the possibility of a relationship. Possibly, it doesn't even have to lead, in my case, it doesn't, right now, it doesn't even have to lead to a relationship because I have prioritized myself. And so in dating, there is no obligations, and that is exactly what I'm looking for right now. I don't want to speak things into the atmosphere or speak things that transition into actual facts as if I don't ever want another relationship. Of course, I want a relationship again, but I'm still finding some things out about myself. I'm still getting my shit together. And so dating is working fine for me. We get to hang out for a little while and enjoy the company and be in that moment. And if we enjoy each other company enough, we'll make arrangements for another date. But right now, my priority is me getting myself together, um, and becoming more of the woman that I am. Transitioning from the old me to the new me. I'm not gonna forget the fucking old me because the old me is what got me here today. So I'm in the process. Well, I've been in the process of a rebirth. I've been rebirthed. I've been reborn. Okay. But some of those lessons is imperative for you to remember from your past life because you don't want to repeat them this time around. I know I fucking don't. And so some of those lessons I have to take with me because they will help outline the woman that I am transitioning to now. And the woman and the experiences, some of them that I've taken is lessons. I know how to date now. I know how to put myself first. I know how important that is now. Um, and my tolerance as far as relationships is this. Anyone else in which I embark with the relationship have to understand that everything is reciprocated. And I mean everything. And it's just if there's a time. But like I just cannot tolerate cheating in my relationship. If it works best for you to date, then let's continue to date. Until we decide we want to do something else, whether we want to become friends with benefits or whether we want to embark on a relationship or whatever the case is. But baby, let me tell you something. Cheating fucking hurts and it does something to your soul. It does something to your spirit. It has just a major effect. The trust is broken. I mean, there is such a domino effect when one person cheats. And then it's even trauma. Okay, it's a traumatic experience when you're all in and you're doing the right thing and somebody does not have integrity and they fucking break the trust. And it's just, I mean, it to me it's just downhill from there. And I would rather leave the situation. And I know you guys are probably saying it's easier said than done, but you have to remember, if you can, that we are here for the experiences only. And sometimes people are not supposed to go where we go. Everybody have their own different path, and it may not be fucking easy to let them go, but it's a hell of a lot easier to let them go than to keep trying to force something that at this point is not fixable, at least in my eyes. At least in my eyes. If you, I just feel like if you forgive someone who wronged you one time, it only allows them the opportunity to wrong you again. I don't give a fuck which way it is. That's exactly why I don't want to revisit severed friendships that has been broken, if the trust has been broken, if you mistreated me in any type of way, there is no fucking reason for us to revisit the friendship. I don't give a fuck. It's, oh, well, you know what she did wasn't that bad. Listen, we no, no, there are people out there who still, and I honestly believe in my heart, who still hold themselves not just accountable but to a higher standard. People who are not surface level people, people who are like sincere, real, thoroughbred ass motherfucking people. Everybody ain't with that fake shit. And as the old saying goes, that we grew up on, real recognize real. And so I'm sure that um should I choose to get married at 55, that um my husband will be, he will be a great man. Excuse me. He will be a man that was ordained for me. He will be a great man, if not to the world, to me. And yeah, I realize I've been talking for almost a half an hour now, so I'm gonna get ready and go. But I just wanted to come down here and pop a little shit with you and talk with you, let you know what was on my mind. And I don't know what it is about pain, but pain and hurt, there's so much more passion when I speak about the down side, or the not so good side, I want to say, of my experiences. It's so much passion. And I want to have that same passion when I speak about positive things, because that is where the passion should lie, in the healing and the loving, in the future, in the present, in the now, in the next step, in the focus, in the goals. The passion should be there also, you know. And I promise myself and you guys to keep that in mind when I am doing these lives, to be passionate about becoming this man. I'm gonna be a bad one. You hear me? I'm a baddie now. I'm gonna be a baddie. Because that's the lingo nowadays, right, man? I'm gonna be something more special than I am now. I feel it coming, it's brewing, and it feels really, really good. And it feels, you know why else it feels good? Because finally I'm prepared to step into my whole total self without changing anything, trying to be a people pleaser, without trying to dumb myself down, because I don't want to be so solid in myself that it intimidates someone else, or it bothers someone else, or makes someone else comfortable, someone else that I like and I want them to stay around. And that go for friends or lovers or in between, you know. So who I am becoming, I am definitely excited about. And I hope you're excited about who you're becoming too. Because once you get to the healing stage of a breakup, that is the cocooning stage, whether you believe it or not. That is the cocooning stage for you, or a chrysalis. Scientifically speaking, it's chrysalis, but in the hood, it's the cocooning stage of becoming a butterfly. So you go through this ugly period where you don't feel your best, and because you don't feel good, you don't necessarily look your best, and you getting your shit together. You know, you in that phase, and I hope that when you get to this phase, that you do all the necessary work you need to do for you, because that is self-preservation, baby. That self-preservation is on the top of the list in universal laws. Self-preservation, baby. You owe it to your motherfucking self. Don't nobody owe you shit, but baby, you owe that to yourself. Self-preservation. Stop letting these motherfucking people outside of your persons devalue you, treat you less than. Nah. Not when we only got a couple of days left on this motherfucker. Ball out, bitch. Ball out.